Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights. I am your host, Dearjames, and my amazing co-host, the Lady Jacqueline, is off this week. So here we are, this promised moment of deliverance. And I say that in the sense that it is October. It is a 10-month, and this does begin the new. It's going to be an interesting way in terms of how it begins, meaning that be open, as they said last week, signs, synchronicity, symbols, and there's a theme of expansion here. And so be open, pliable, ready to receive, claim it that you are ready to receive. And it's one of those things when you claim it and you open yourself up, we receive. So there's some beautiful, beautiful energy here. I'm going to go through all of the numbers as we dive into this. And as you are joining us from around the globe, please put in the comments that you're joining us and from where. I see Anne is here from France. Welcome. And as you know, we take your questions live throughout the broadcast and also put in the comments that how things are resonating with you. So let's jump into this because it's really an incredible month and it really commences again. And today is October 5th. It's 10/5 and that plays to what we're going to discuss. But as I sat down to write this, I kept getting 10-1. 10-1, 10-1. And when you visualize that number, 1, 0, 0, 1, ones are gateways, 11s. And you have the double zeros in the center. And then, of course, it's 2022. So 10, 0, 1, 22. And you have this beautiful, they're saying right in the middle, right? This month, October, which is from the original calendar, we're still in the first month of the Jewish calendar, the Jewish New Year. It's the High Holy Days. We're still in that period. So technically, we are still in the 7th month because it runs from latter September into about mid-October. It's 30 days. Then we move into the 8th month. And of course, 10. And October is 8. So there's this beauty here, but what they're saying is right down the middle, here's these ones and double zeros in the center. And those double zeros is source. It's the purity of source. It's where the magic lies. It is the gateway, the opening, the gateway to this energy that we're going to talk about and what to be from this moment onward. So how you transition, how you change. And then the 22s and the overall number of the 10-1 and the 22 is an 8. And we're moving into the 8. So an 8 representing infinity, eternity, the beauty, the continuum. So this is where this all gets very juicy. But the overall theme, and if you saw the post from a couple days ago, the overall theme is the wanderer. And I just want to bring up, as I do this, I am going to talk to you about that. So the wanderer, and in quick summary, it says the Latin root word E-R-R, means wander or make a mistake, which is a wandering from the correct answer. This Latin root is the word origin of a number of English vocabulary words like errant, erratic, error. So we can see that, okay, contained in this, and this is really important because there's two pieces here. The first one is that contained in the word wanderer, its Latin root is to wander or to make a mistake. Okay, let's hold that over here, suspend that for a second. And then, what is the ancient Greek word for wanderer? And it says, however, the planets moved relative to the stars. For this reason, they were called wandering stars. Our word planet comes from the Greek word planets, meaning wanderer. So built into this theme, built into this energy, built into where we're going and this whole journey we've been on. Remember, two different worlds, two very different, two different ways, two very different worlds. These, the 6, conflict, destiny. So here, even in the word wander, the wanderer is one of either a mistake or, like the wandering stars, like the planets, the movement of the stars, the movement of the heavens, that which is perfect. So let's be mindful as we go through here to see that this overall theme of the wanderer is playing out. I want to bring in, because the first thing they said to me about the wanderer, and I'm going to get into this with the hexagram and everything, and they said, the boundless expanse opens before you. And then they said, ye, thee. And I sat for a minute, I'm like, so the boundless expanse opens before you. So we're the wanderers, we're all the wanderers. You're a wanderer, I'm a wanderer, if you choose to be a wanderer. And you'll see the beauty of this word and the meaning of it. And they said, the boundless expanse opens before you, ye, thee. And I kind of went on, and then I was like, oh, they're talking about past lives. And that clicked it reminded me that last week, 10, was about judgment and deliverance. And so I want to bring up again, very quickly, the definition of the judgment card in the tarot. And let me just do this because I believe, there we go. So just bringing up the 4 of Cups, judgment's right in the center, and there's the star card. And so it says, the judgment card, sometimes called resurrection, represents the great union that the ancients believed would happen once in every age. This was the time when souls are harvested and taken home to their place of origin, outside the solar system. Then the world is seeded with a batch of new souls and the process starts over. From a modern point of view, this great reunion, which includes every personality that you have ever been and every soul that you have done deep work with, reunites to consciously complete the process. In a way, we symbolically celebrate this returning to center every year on your birthday. In personal terms, the judgment card points to freedom from inner conflicts and so clear a channel that the buried talents and gifts of past incarnations can come through an individual in this lifetime. This card counsels you to trust the process of opening yourself, because what emerges is of consistently high quality. You can effortlessly manifest as a multi-dimensional being and assist in invoking that response from others. You're going to see, and I'll post this in the comments, after the show, you're going to see how this is so intricately woven. You're the wanderer. We are the wanderers. There's a new beginning. There's the way and the new. And how in this they were talking about, so the boundless expanse opens before you. So this is going to mean that things are going to open up inside of you, within you, and in front of you. So internally, externally, micro, macro. They're going to open up. And as we do that, what they were saying here, which pulled this together, and then here's the 8, right? Infinity, eternity, past lives, multi-incarnational work, being a multi-incarnational being. And that you can, in essence, bring that about, all the lives you've been, all the best, as the Lady Jacqueline would say, all the best juicy parts of it. There we are. Hopefully this is continuing. It bumped everyone off. So here's these juicy, isn't that interesting? Endings, we get bopped off, endings, beginnings. So this is where they're talking about this boundless expanse opens before you, ye, thee, so it's all of you, not just this lifetime. So not just the identity or the personality that you are in this lifetime. All of them. They culminate, they come together, and they expand. And this is where that the judgment card from last week, judgment and deliverance, comes in. It's the fullness, it's the unfolding, it's the unlayering, it's the unmasking. And we've talked about this a lot throughout the journey. So then they came to the second thing, which they said, and they said, ever expanding, be mindful in your approach. And what they meant, and I'm going to bring this up because remember this card was playing for some time. It was playing out. The 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups can be both illusion and opportunity, mystery, opportunity. And the key here is discernment. So as this boundless expanse opens before you, as we culminate, as we expand in consciousness, as we see before us, we're the wanderer. And the wanderer is about being humble. It's about humility and grace, because we're a stranger in a strange land, in essence. It's something new. It is the other side of the mountain. So we know what we know, right? We've come all this way. We know what we know. We hit the apex moment, but we've never descended, traveled the other side of the mountain. All of our focus, remember, all of our focus has been on the ideal of the promise. But in the new, the ideal is the new reality. This promise of limitlessness, boundless expanse. However, with that, with any great journey, with all that excitement and joy and awe and reverence and mystery, we still need to be humble and walk with grace, because we are experiencing something new. And so you can see where in this image of the 7 of Cups, things will be presented to you. You'll encounter opportunities, and we're going to need to know, as they're saying, ever expanding, be mindful in your approach. So be open and use discernment as you move forward. When your gut tells you, your intuition, your gut tells you something, listen to it. Don't override it. Listen to it. And the more it integrates, the more it's going to come together. And that's how this plays. So these are the first 2 things. And then I'm going to jump into, because I want to jump into the Wanderer, hexagram 56, because today is 10-5 and 2022 is a 6. So the 10-5-6. And it's the Wanderer card in the I Ching. let me just jump in with Anne's comment. She said, that's interesting about past lives and the whole of one, because I've been feeling like I've been pulling energy and mindfulness from very deep and far inside the last week. Exactly. You're going to recognize that all of you, from highest octave of yourself, that's where we're headed. We're going back to where we began, an octave higher. So all of a sudden, the denseness that has been this current existence, the denseness, and that's not a negative, it's just saying in the most dense, in the physical is the most dense, weighty, heaviest, and all of a sudden it's like we've always had it. We've always had the ability to reach all these other lives, and this is where we've talked about how past lives, when you do past life regression, they will show you the lifetime that is most pertinent, most important to what you're doing right in this moment, so as to release it, to receive benefit. And it's what I call the bleed through. So it's a bleed through, and that can release you. You can see in the current moment of an experience, a relationship, what's going on. Why is it affecting you? And then all of a sudden you see the prior lifetime that wasn't resolved, and you go, oh, okay, that's why this is happening. And you release it. You move through it. Well, that is the same. This is now bringing all that together, the highest and best of all of that, higher self. It's all the strands. It's like a ponytail. It's all the strands in a ponytail. So all of that culminating into one beautiful experience, form, being, and being able to utilize it. That's what Anne is talking about, how you can reach, so we can reach those lifetimes, those levels, those gifts, because they're all divine. So we bring them in and say, okay, here we are in the present. So, and let me just bring up on the screen for everyone, because remember again, when we suspend the reality we are in, or believe we are in, a new reality emerges. And it's the second one that said, in Revelation, it says, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. This open door, the way. And so we have this beautiful, beautiful opportunity here in October. This is now the month where this all permeates, is the way they're saying it too. It begins to permeate. It's gonna wait. Because again, if we're looking for something like presto magic, poof, sorry about that. So we're experiencing some Mercury retrograde. It went direct on Sunday. We're still in the shadow, and some technical difficulties as we are working with these new software and so forth. Facebook made a major change on how they post with third-party software and everything, and it's really running amok. It's given everyone a challenge here, and so let us flow with it. So let's walk into the Wanderer and see. So the Wanderer is called Lu, L-U. It's hexagram 56. And the action is explore. Its hidden influence is 28. It's a 10. 2 and 8 is a 10. Critical mass, adjust. It's a turning point. It's a critical mass moment. It's an adjustment. Its underlining cause is 60, limitation, regulate, so as again to adjust, to regulate, to adjust. I'm going to bring this up. It's a beautiful quote, and it says, and the still deeper secret of the secret, the land that is nowhere, that is your true home. So as the wanderer, that's a beautiful quote from Carrie Owen from cafeausoul.com. And the still deeper secret of the secret, the land that is nowhere, that is your true home. So this is advising us, telling everyone that as the wanderer, because again, what happens? Fear sets in, right? We want things the way we know them. We don't want to let go. We want to control. I only feel safe when I'm in my own home, in my own surroundings, in these four walls, but that can box us in. And so we're being given the beauty. Now remember, a discernment. We've got to ever expanding, be mindful of our approach. So it doesn't mean just throw caution to the wind. You can when you know. But also at the same time, don't allow the old to keep you boxed in, confined, frightened, afraid. Because the true home is the land that is nowhere. It means wherever you are, you're at home. Wherever you are, you're at peace. Wherever you are, you're walking with humility and grace. And that opens doors. That opens the way. So we're talking about, this is a quote by Willa Cather, and it says, "He had the uneasy manner of a man who is not among his own kind, and who has not seen enough of the world to feel that all people are in some sense his own kind." It's about recognizing in each other that we are. We know this. We've heard this for a long time. So here it's talking about, so the wanderer is talking about hexagram 56. It is said that the greatest wanderer does not know where they are going. This is about that soul source connection where you may not be able to, it's the hermit with the star card, the lantern is lit up. It's the star, the star card, the star is the light in the lantern of the hermit. It only illuminates the next steps in front of you. It's not a Klug light. It doesn't flood the way. But it says that the greatest wanderer does not know where they are going. But we do know next steps because you're being guided. And so it gives you that knowing that says, go this way. You know to go this way. You may not be able to see down and around the corner, but you know what to do. You know to go. You know what to let go of. It says, this is the openness required to follow the way. After the zenith of the previous hexagram, that previous hexagram is 55, which is great abundance. So here comes 10, renewal, rebirth, phoenix, rising, all this newness, all of this abundance. It says after the zenith of this, there usually follows an anticlimax where the atmosphere becomes uncertain again. Apex, it's the all-seeing eye. We've been climbing up the whole mountain. We've been going. We hit that apex moment. And then we're unsure. We don't know what's going on because we haven't ever been on the other side. And remember, they talked about last week with the signs, symbols, and synchronicity, they said the wayward inward journey. And the definition of wayward, difficult to control or predict because of unusual or perverse behavior. So, unusual, new. It's something we haven't experienced before. And you can see how this is discernment. Which one are we in? Are we in a state of flow and grace and ease and so forth, or are we having that, destiny, or are we having that conflict experience? Are we holding on and not letting go? So loose symbolizes the message that is the journey and not the destination that is important. We know this, right? We've heard this so many times. It's the journey, not the destination. And yet we want to get somewhere. And so we bump up against that. This, they're saying, is going to open the way. It's going to lessen that block, that frustration. Because again, we're going to be more in tune, more in alignment, more open. Something is changing, and you will need to be flexible to adapt. Familiar routines and comfort zones will no longer do it. The hidden influence of critical mass shows the importance of not becoming too complacent, where stability can lead to stagnation and even collapse. So here you can see that, are you boxed in? Or are you the wanderer? Are you going to walk with faith, knowing where to be led, knowing where to go? because otherwise it can become stagnant and collapse. The underlying cause of limitation shows the opposite condition, where we hold to the familiar and abide by rules. For now, the vista's open before you, and like the Fool in the tarot deck, it is time for an adventure. Taking the road less traveled, or leaving the ordinary behind, is the only way to invigorate your sense of discovery. And remember, they have said to us, we're going from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Color, technicolor. It's not about going back. It's about going forward. And so, again, the more we align, the more we open, the more right meaning aligned, this is. And I just want to bring in the third thing they said. They said, align your will to divine will, and they underlined divine will. And they said, have the courage to, in quotes, walk the talk. So really, really, really listen, align, release, allow, and flow. Allow this 10-1, that 10-1-0-0-1, because it's 22. It's the most powerful master number, which is an 8, which leads us forward. We just have to be willing to let go, to go as guided. And then again, 7 of Cups, use discernment. Absolutely use discernment. Listen to your knowing, to your intuition. Know when to move forward, know when to hold. Before I continue, let me bring in Brigitte. She said, I'm feeling boxed in by the formal constructs of life right now. Things haven't opened up enough yet, and wow, it's difficult. Lots of conflict right now, and I'm hoping something will open up and show me the way. So yes, so remember, this is always an inside job. So any confines, any boxes, blockages, they're a mental construct. They're a story we're telling ourselves so that we feel safe, or we believe or feel that others will be safe, as opposed to, listen, in your knowing, in the listening, in the knowing, you're going to know what to do, and it may not be what you're doing. And thereby, you align, you adjust. You need to, like this is talking about, the wanderer. The wanderer adjusts. The wanderer goes with divine flow. Divine will, not my will. So divine will may say to you, go this way. And it will be a knowing. You will know it deep within your being. You will know. Your mind may challenge it. Your mind may fight against it. Lots of interruptions. The flow of this is crazy. So, as we continue with the flow, so this, Brigitte, what Brigitte is speaking to is, be mindful of your choices, the scripts, the stories, the masks, the identities, the fears that are driving you, controlling you, boxing you in. Because 10-1 isn't a box. 10-1 is a divine gateway, a divine way through. A way to, a way through. 10-1. 22, the most powerful. You have everything you need. You are absolutely empowered. It's 8, it's infinity, it's all you've ever been and more. It's the beautiful idiom of, we stand on the shoulders of giants. We stand on the shoulders of everyone that's come before us, everyone that's walked this journey, this beautiful pilgrimage, this journey, every aspect of you, every piece of you that's been before is present for you. So it's very empowering, very boundless, a boundless expanse. And that's saying we really truly are going to expand. And so again, as businesses, people that are in business and so forth are listening and everything, this is true. It is true of everything. Business, person, governance, governments, institutions, because the way is open. The way is before us, ahead of us, in front of us. It's not about being boxed in, controlled. Brigitte is saying, yes, perfect. I'm in the middle of deciding when to make the adjustments. Yes. And again, it's okay if fear is in the decisions and the adjustments and the action. Remember, fear is your friend. It's energy. Use it to propel you forward. When it's utilized to immobilize you, keep you boxed in, keep you back, you can't go you can't move. Nobody can move forward. And Elizabeth is saying, I've noticed that my daily routine has become cumbersome and frustrating. I finally stopped being so rigid and just let it go. I'm in a free fall, but not feeling scared. I finally stopped trying to plan it all out. Exactly. How beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. And it's very interesting. I share that, Elizabeth, with everyone and drop into the comments. We're taking information in. And so I've been reading a lot that's all about this, that's correlating with all of this. And I had this awareness, as Elizabeth is articulating, that in a certain way, so like this, we can plan, we can try to control, we can take in information. All of that's, okay. And then there's also this point where you just simply let go, free fall, knowing, because you know what I absolutely know to be true is what I need in the moment that I need it will be provided. It will be brought to me. It will be shown to me. And I will know to go that way, to do this thing. So all these other, it's that beautiful idiom, life happens while you're planning. We can plan and plan and plan and plan and control and think we're going a certain way, only for life, for soul source connection, to move you in a completely different direction. And the beauty that Elizabeth just articulated, the beauty is she stopped being so rigid, planning and so forth, to just simply free fall, let go, open up. Divine will, not her will. And the security, the faith, the trust, the security, the knowing that's in it. And this is the wanderer. So it says, as we continue with that, so taking the road less traveled or leaving the ordinary behind is the only way to invigorate your sense of discovery. Wandering or traveling is an opportunity to examine the baggage you carry with you. There we go. There's Elizabeth saying, I laid down all my baggage. I just put it down. Perhaps it's time to lighten your load. You may be changing residences or careers, and an open-minded attitude will serve you well as you approach the changes. You can be a gardener of people and yourself by acknowledging how individual differences can lead you to experience something different about yourself. See, this is the beauty of we know what we know until we know. We know where we've come from. We know that journey. We know that beast. We know that experience. We know it. You can be the gardener of people. Think about that. You can be the gardener of people, experiences, the journey, tending to the garden. How beautiful is your path? Because you're the gardener. You're the guest. You're the custodian of this experience. When we're the custodian of something, we take greater and better care of it because it's been entrusted to us. So one can envision in your mind's eye, you can envision, well, is my path as the gardener, is my path, what does it look like? Is it beautiful? Is it open? Is it well tended and planted and curated and loved and so forth? Or is it full of weeds and thickets and stones and obstacles, danger. Which one is it? What is it? Because you're the gardener of it. And by being the gardener of people and acknowledging the beauty, the variety around us, it's like when we meet new people of another culture or another place, and it reveals not only them, but us. How do we react? What's within us? Does it inspire? How does it change us? How does it expand us? And there's a beauty because you stand in discernment, not in judgment, in discernment. And you're able to take in and allow things to flow through you and pass through you. This is about the wanderer. This is how we open up the vista, or the vista obviously is opening for us. So your way is only one way. So be open to what wandering into the unknown can teach you. The greatest traveler has no itinerary. When traveling, be a gardener of every new experience. Whatever greatness may exhaust itself upon, this much is certain: it loses a home. So you lose a home because you're exhausting greatness, meaning you've expanded, you've moved beyond the self-imposed limitations, the confines, the boxes, the squares. You've said to yourself, self, I'm open to be the wanderer. I'm open to go as guided. I claim this. I claim this opportunity. I claim this expansion. I claim this joy. Hence follows the idea of the wanderer. You may follow the path of the wanderer, mastering the art of living in a place without boundaries. This is the deeper secret of the secret, the land that is nowhere, that is the true home. So this is where there's so much joy in this hexagram 56, and in this moment of 10-1, I know it's 10-5, 10-1, and the new. It's interesting, this signal, it's given us a run for our money. See, the issue is there will be challenge. See, the connection keeps, and it's not about our connection. Our connection will stay as long as you're listening. As long as you are staying connected, your connection is there. The way is open and clear. Go forth and conquer. Discernment. These challenges, see, the challenges are there because the challenges are opportunities for us to expand. We're literally, in this moment, I'm utilizing a new software that's a beta version of something because of these changes. And that will allow us to expand. It'll allow us to release old baggage, release third-party things we don't need. So there's a beautiful example in this moment of literally the signal dropping and coming back and dropping and coming back. And I want to go to the last thing before I grab the rest of your comments. Because in this moment, and it's a prime example of this as well, they said, it's the fifth thing, there's another thing, but they said, tread lightly, lest you make an impact. And hexagram 10 is treading. It's known as treading. So here they're saying, tread lightly, lest you make an impact. That has a double meaning. Lest you have an impact. When you walk gently, carry a big stick is another euphemism. It's that thing of when we tread lightly, humility, grace, divine will, flowing, living that way, embodying that, rippling that out, you make a huge impact just by being. It's so subtle and yet so powerful. When you're the shadow of that, when you aren't treading lightly, lest you make an impact, a negative impact, a negative ripple. harm, damage. And so they're really saying here, tread lightly in the new, tread lightly, lest you make an impact. It doesn't mean do nothing. It doesn't mean, just be, like milquetoast. No. It's saying be mindful, discernment, humility, grace, lest you make an impact. So that you see that just by being this way and being in alignment with it, you're going to make an impact. Let it be a great one. Let it be a good one. Let it be of light and positivity and goodness and grace, not its opposite. Let me bring in Elizabeth said the bags were really heavy. Yes, and yet laying them down. Look at the release of them, laying them down. It's such a beautiful journey, a gift. And I want to bring up, I'm going to read this one last thing, and I want to bring up an image of Nikola Tesla. And remember that we spoke about him last week. And the issue was that, and I want to tell you about him because it was about precipitating in the fourth dimension. And here again, it's number 4D. It's this item 4D. And so they said Nikola Tesla 369, and about how we create. So here we are, we're going to be in the new. And how do we create? Because the old doesn't work anymore. The old ways are not going to work. There's Elizabeth laying the baggage down, the old ways, the weight of that, the frustration of it, the non-mobility, not being able to break through. Because the breakthrough, the new, is you break through in a different way now. So, and we can see this in the world, right? We see this on the world stage. The old ways were already programmed. There's a portion, yes, there's a portion that say, yes, let's go back to like 1950s. Okay. And then but the majority, there's a mass, it's the part from, I'll come back to it. It's the piece that's in the hexagram 56, the underlining cause, I believe. I'll come back to it. But that critical mass, there's a critical mass that says, that doesn't work anymore. That doesn't work for us anymore. That's not where we're going. That's not what we want. It's not what we desire. So when you look at the image below, this is on the left, it's Nikola Tesla, literally in Colorado Springs, Colorado, creating electricity. Creating electricity. It's not from a power source. It's not from an electrical power source. It's native. He's bringing it in. He's creating it naturally. And then you see him on the image on the right in one of his workshops and everything, where he's literally holding two globes that are lit up. And if you research this, one of the I don't want to call it an experiment, one of the things that he actually accomplished was he laid light bulbs in the open earth so many feet apart, and by one of his creations, illuminated them. No wires, no strings, no wires, no illuminated them. And it says Nikola Tesla was born on July 10th, 1856, 7/10. Remember, all of September, this bridge month, 7/10. 1856, an ethnic Serb in today's Croatia. His mind distinguished him at a young age. Tesla recalled in his autobiography having out-of-body experiences as a child, which cast him to, in quotes, new places, cities, and countries, as dear to me as those in actual life, and not a bit less intense in their manifestations, end quote. So he's astral traveling. His mind was so advanced that his beingness Boundless expanse opens before you. Ever expanding, be mindful. Align your will to divine will. Tread lightly, lest you make an impact. Look at the massive impact Nikola Tesla made for humanity. Almost 2,000 patents. Things that we're still attempting to complete that he created. It goes on to say, Tesla also had an eidetic photographic memory, which he used to craft his ideas and inventions in his head before setting out to create them in reality. When Tesla began putting his mind to the test as an adult, he noticed that he stood apart from his contemporaries. Most other inventors, he noted, in quotes, lack patience. Tesla went on to say, they lack the willingness to work a thing out slowly and clearly and sharply in their mind. We all make mistakes, and it is better to make them before we begin. It couldn't be more powerful a statement, and you can see how that original piece about the wanderer and are we making a mistake? Are we wandering, thereby making a mistake? Or are we like the absolute divine precision of the planets, in alignment, in harmony, in knowingness, and with the patience and the persistence and the grace and the humility? We work everything out. We see it. We envision it. We see it. And then we deliver it. That is the beauty of this month. I'm so excited about this month, about where this is all going, because as for you all, this unfolds for me as I listen, as I'm doing it. It is not something that, I receive a lot that comes in advance and everything. Yet when we sit down for this, for the weekly wisdom and insights for the show, I'm right there with you. I'm literally experiencing the message as they're giving it to me. And so there's a beauty here that September being the bridge month, and we are receiving anew. When that actually happens, and or we need to be mindful that if we're looking for it again, as I said during the show earlier, that it just instantaneously changes. It may or may not. It may be that, and that's part of the mystery. That is part of the secret within the secret. So they're advising us, they're making us aware to be aware that it can change, and yet it may be exactly, remember they said it can be an instantaneous change, and yet it may appear or look to be the same. And over the course of time, we come to realize, in hindsight, no, it's not the same. It's completely different. And so the more that we're in this 10-1 energy, mindset, way of being, the 22, the more powerful you are, the more powerful your manifestation, your ability to create, your ability to walk the talk, go with the flow, move into the new. And it will be faster and faster and faster and faster as we, quote unquote, move out of time, move past time. Why? Because it's the 8. They're just showing you this, 8, the infinity and everything, but they're also, the 8, when it's upright, looks like an old school antiquity hourglass. The sands of time. And so, what happens? It's a new way. It's a new age. It's the age of Aquarius. It's a new way. And so, the hourglass gets turned. And thereby, we go anew. However, this one is as it dropped off again. See, the old? Okay, so, and there's an interesting part about this. So today is the 5th, next week is the 12th, next Wednesday is the 12th. And I believe there's something about the fact that when you add, oh, yes, because when you add all the numbers together today, depending on whether you start with a 1 or a 10, but if you just take the 1, it becomes a 12, 3. And next week is the 12th. So it's going to be a 12, 3 on the day. So there's an interesting part about it. I just want to close and wrap up with everyone with the overall message is the Wanderer. It's hexagram 56. The number 5, the hexagram for number 5 is nourished while waiting. So remember, know that you are nourished while waiting. Right where you are, you have everything you need. Like Elizabeth shared with us earlier, if there's something that's blocking you or you're self-imposed, lay it down. All of the examples today are brilliant from Anne and Brigitte and Elizabeth. Lay them down because that will release it and you'll know that you're nourished while waiting. 6, we're in a 6-year conflict, destiny. So remember to be in destiny. The arc of time moves forward. The arc of destiny moves forward. 12 is about a standstill. And remember, it said in hexagram 56, it said, after that peak moment, so there's going to be a peak moment, and after that peak moment, it can feel like we're just kind of like, what happened? Nothing's changed, and yet everything's changed. So it's a standstill. It's like we're at a standstill in a way. It's new. This is where the humility and the grace and the discernment and the awareness as the wanderer, stranger in a strange land. When you travel, be the person that goes to a foreign country and acts with great grace and humility so as to be received, so as to be embraced, so as to be taught, so as to be loved. That's the beauty of that. You don't want to be the person that goes in and says, well, where I'm from, and this is the... No. That's the old. If you do it with a 10 instead of a 1, it's a 21. 21, which still becomes a 3, 2 and 1 becomes a 3. And it's interesting, 1, 2, 2, 1. Hexagram 21 is about biting through. It's Alexander the Great with the Gordian knot. It's about cutting through, biting through. So again, with great clarity, with great knowing, listening, soul source connection, listening, you'll know what to do. Thereby you can cut through, you can move forward, you can be the wanderer. All of this is about you as the gardener cultivating your path, your garden, your way, the way. And last but not least, hexagram 3, which is what this all culminates, is known as difficult at the beginning. Difficult at the beginning because it's new. The thing that makes it effortless and easy, it doesn't mean it doesn't have challenge, but it reduces all the anxiety. It just allows that to flow away, is the fact that of when we listen. We're not in our head, we're in our heart, our soul source connection. That delivers us. So the difficulty at the beginning and the beauty of that, it says to us, difficulty at the beginning. It's only at the beginning. It's only at the moment that it's new and we move through it. After that, there is no difficulty. Sheer grace and beauty and brilliance and technicolor and joy and boundless expansion. So thank you all so much. This is the message for October moving forward. This month of deliverance, this deliverance month, this harvest month, this the way forward month. It's really quite magical. So thank you all for joining and your comments and sharing and being a part of this with myself and the Lady Jacqueline. We greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Be well.